Welcome to another interesting demo video. Today's demo video, I'm just trying to get you through the project transactions, the project integration, what we have with rental. Basically, I would say like the projects will help us to track our ongoing. It can be transactions, who brings the revenues, what brings the revenue, and if there are a transaction, what brings us cost, which means an expense. So the projects will help us tracking those. So it tells us that if we have a budget for a certain project, so the project in the sense like, let's say if we are having a project with a customer. So if we know that our project budget is, when it comes to the cost, it could be 12,000 or 10,000 of an estimated budget, but actual cost was higher than the budgeted amount. So then the variance will be negative. So which means we have a loss. But when it comes to the revenue, of course, if the revenue is higher than the budgeted value, it's a gain. So it becomes a profit. Now what AcuRental can do with the projects means whenever you do a rental order, you can connect this rental order or a rental contract to a project. What it does, it helps us tracking the revenue of a particular contract, rental contract, and the contract that brings the revenue to the company or to the contract. Before we have an integration. Before we start doing the projects, please make sure that on your rental preferences under the project accounting, you have these options enabled. When it comes to the cost posting, there are two options given, but at the same time, you can't have both these options available. Either you can post the cost to the project, or either you can post a cost. Either you can post your cost through the project or you can post the cost through a journal transaction. Somehow it identifies the cost involved with a certain transaction. So at the same time, you can't have cost postings because if that happens then there will be a duplication. That's why when you check this it won't allow you to check this one. That's why I got an error. Now I'm going to create a rental order. Let's select a customer. And then add rental items. Now I have my rental items on my rental order. Okay, let me set up a rental duration as well. Let's say we have 2 months rental. I will apply this to the lines. Now I have a very basic rental order. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a project. My intention of creating this project is to make sure I do have a project that tagged into a rental contract so I can easily track revenue that I could generate from this contract. So I'm going to create my project through rental module. I'm going to use my template to create a project. And then save it. And then make sure you activate the project. Then make sure you activate your tasks as well. And then make sure you add your customer. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one for my project. So when I run this, I will see my project. I'm going to add my project. You have to go on here and add your project task. These project tasks are aligned with your project. So basically you cannot save a record or you cannot save an order without tagging them into a task. Make sure you have project task linked to your lines. So then that way it can bring the revenue. Now we have the project and the project task connected to the order. Let's create the shipment now. I will bypass QC. I'll do the confirm shipment. Once the shipment's confirmed, I have to do my return first, because the billing type is set to upon return. Basically what I need to do, I need to create the return first. Let me do that for July. OK. You can now release it. Now I'm going to create the rental invoice because my billing type was set to upon return. Let me release the invoice now. Let's go to the bill and see. Here project and the project task has been linked and revenue has been tracked. If I go to the project now and navigate to the revenue budget, you can see that amount has been tracked under actual amount. Then I check the view transaction and you can see your AR invoice number here. This is how we can create projects from rental contract entry based on project templates and track the transactions through project. Thank you for watching this demo video. Let's meet in another interesting demo video.